Welcome to the Napoleon Total War 2v2 tournament hosted by OBG, all on Discord. Check out the link below for the Discord if you want to join in future. We've got some interesting matches here, a little bit of drama between these two teams, which we'll cover when it comes up. For the first map, they've gone Arid Cliffs. We have the Ottomans and the Ottomans versus the Ottomans and the Ottomans. They've all gone Ottomans on Arid Cliffs. That is a little bit insane in my opinion, but we're just gonna have to deal with it as it is. It's an Ottoman game. 4 Ottoman players. We have on Team Fate, who are gonna be in red in this one, Theodore and Crucible. In blue, we have Flavius and Itchy Nuisance. Flavius also known as Uncle J, I believe. So Fate in red, and in blue, the team name is Nameless. Who's gonna win it? Let's find out in this best of 3. The rumours are these two teams are probably our best teams, and it just so happened that they matched up in pool play, so it's gonna be a big one. And away they go. So the battle instantly starts, and yeah, they charge into the high ground with their cavalry, and Fate is doing the same. This is what we usually see on this map. The cavalry just goes all in right at the start. If you're wondering why they've all gone Ottomans, basically the Ottomans get a slight advantage in heat maps, such as Arid Cliffs here. It's gonna be chaos. Let's try figure out who's gonna have the upper hand. At least we've got the map, so I'll keep the map on large mode for most of this. And yeah, the gunshots already coming in. The dragoons here getting their shots in. Are they gonna charge it in melee? Nope, they're also dragoons. I don't know where the audio's gone. I'm sure it usually comes back after like a minute, but we will get the audio back eventually. Let's just give it a pause. Let's mess with the speed a bit. Hopefully that fixes it. There we go. Now we've got gun audio. So this is a nightmare to commentate. But I kind of have to cover it because it's two such big teams. We just have to deal with the chaos of this first map. Oh god, this is gonna be a nightmare. Hopefully it ends quick. Either way, what we can clearly see right now is all the cavalry are fighting. They're all charging into each other, and the infantry's moving up. We've got these two units as well fighting over here. Where are they? Here they are. Nameless, who is blue. Yes, Nameless, who is blue, is fighting on the lower ground here. Red is charging in, which is Fate's cavalry. Yep, I think. Oh god, this is so confusing. It's messing with my head too much. Fate is red. Okay, we set that up at the start. Fate is red. Nameless is blue. Again, they've got a little square formation here to take out the cavalry. You know what? I think this first match might be a little bit more graphical than anything else. Not really the commentaries, not really the strategies, just zooming in and seeing how cool the Ottomans look. Either way, none of these players can choose Ottomans again. Nameless's cavalry here pushed back Fate's cavalry, and they have completely fled the field, so that is slight advantage there to Nameless. Or even if we hover over them, we don't get any extra info. Well, they're very tired here, but they have formed square, trying to take out those cav units. They are surrounded by cavs, so square definitely makes sense in this scenario. But they're being shot at by dragoon cavalry, so they are losing men because of that. I don't know why we need to see that. Whoa, his head's vibrating, look at his head! He's got a vibrator stuck in there. Oh, it stopped now. Oh, this is so confusing. Either way, at least you can see it on the map. You can try and get an idea. It's the best of 3, remember. So at least we're guaranteed at least one more game after this. I do love how these cav units look. How do I pronounce that? Sileter Guard. I love their armour. It's just something different compared to all the gunpowder, so it makes them a bit extra special, but they do look really cool. And just look at the details on his face as well. Absolutely stunning. And they're all shooting as well, firing not by a line exactly, they're all sort of like shooting through each other's heads, which I don't like. I wish they'd fire more by line, but oh well. I think it's Darth mod that fixes that, but they don't play with any mods here in this tournament. It's easier to just have it vanilla. A lot of red. A bit too much red. That's... I said this on a video before, but that's my only problem with Napoleonic era games. Everyone's in blue, is what I said before. But come to think of it, it's either blue or red. There's really no other colours. Like, yeah, Austria is in white, okay. You'll get troops in green as well, and, you know, maybe orange, stuff like that. But for the most part, most are red and blue. Makes it a bit confusing. Anyway, they're all just forming their lines right now. They're getting some shots in. A lot more bloodshed in the middle, though, with cavalry charges coming through as well. This is difficult for me to cast. I can't imagine what it's like to actually play it in all of this chaos. Maybe it's easy for them, because they can at least highlight their own units, and we can... I think they get better banners as well, so they can actually see who is an enemy and who is a friend. But I think Nameless here is throwing their swordsman in, but Fate has their swordsman as well. So it is swords v swords right now. Can't really tell what's going on. We've got the white trouser people versus the blue trousers. No, even that's not correct. That would help if they just gave them different coloured trousers. Imagine that, that would make it so much simpler to see what's going on, but no. Like, how do they even know friend from foe if you're down on this battlefield? This is just stupid at this point. What am I doing? Why am I sat here trying to commentate this? In reality, I'm just wasting my time, I'm wasting your time, I should just skip it. But you know what, it's so stupid, I do feel I have to continue. And some of these guys aren't even dying, they're just falling over. So they're pulling back. Blue trousers is gunpowder units. White trousers is... is swordsman. And then we've got the cavalry there as well. Probably has no idea whose side he's on at this point. Like, look at them, they just look confused. Everybody's confused right now. Why does he have 2 spikes on the end of his spears? There we go, and now he's dead. That is life. But I'm gonna keep it in there because I do think it's funny. You know what, maybe just skip to battle 2 if you can't stand it. I'm gonna speed it up a bit, because we're not really getting much out of this. Not much in terms of strategy. They said it's a good game for players, but I can't... Okay, I can't really commentate it too much when it's all Ottomans. Now that they're just shooting at each other again, now it gets simpler. So they've got the 2 lines there, but some of Fate's swordsmen have charged forwards, and it looks like they're bringing more swordsmen in as well. Yeah, they've got their cavalry at the back. Yeah, cavalry there. They're not charging in yet though, so now they've formed lines again. Balance of power is 50-50. The swordsman here charging. I don't know why they're charging slow motion. I guess it's actually just a balance thing. If we slow them down at charging, it gives the gunpowder units a bit more time to get their shots in. I'm assuming that's it. Yeah, because that's not normal speed. Actually, if we double speed it, then it looks a bit more normal for the charge. Anyway, whose is this? I think this is Fate's swordsman. So they're hitting Nameless's gunmen in the back here. Swordsmen apparently very powerful. So powerful that we had to limit how many they can have in the rules. I think it was 3 each maximum. Oh, it's stupid, right? So it seems Nameless charged here with their swordsmen, but their swordsmen have finally broken. A lot of units breaking for Fate though, they're all pulling back. Just a load of dead bodies with white trousers in the middle, and a few horsemen. And then all the blue ones piling up here. It's an absolute bloodbath. This Ottoman civil war. a tragedy. It should not happen. Civil war. Why can't everyone just get along? Just hugs all round, hugs and kisses. That would make a much better world. I'm like trying to find something to talk about, literally anything, but there's nothing to cast here. That's how desperate I'm getting. So if I didn't form square in time, that means a lot of them get gunned down and then stabbed by the bayonets. I think we can triple speed this now. I think we've seen what we need to see. I'm just going to hover above for people who do like to see all the little details as best as they can. Oh, we got a general dead. What faction is that? The Ottomans. The Ottomans lost a general. That's Theodore in red, representing fate. So that's going to hurt Red's morale now, for at least half of them. So that was very good by Nameless. Balance of power still even, but it does look like it's slightly going in favour of blue. Red sends in some more cavalry. That's a general, I believe. Really pushes through there. There was some drama on this one as well because the host accidentally picked, well, supposedly accidentally picked ranked mode. The other team doesn't think it was an accident and there was a whole drama around it. Yeah, if anyone wanted the update there, it's, yeah. And then there was a bit of refusal to play by some side and, yeah, a load of other chaos. Was it an accident or not? I've got no idea. To be honest, I really didn't care. But as the host, I had to find some rule on it. So red is sort of like moving around this way. They're winning on this side, but they seem to be getting pushed back in the middle, and they're definitely getting pushed back on this side. Yeah, it's like originally blue was lined up here, red lined up here. They're definitely getting pushed back, and they are breaking with a lot of units. That's what happens when the general dies. You know, units start to disappear a lot faster, and before you know it, you've lost. Especially in battles that are this close, this tight. Balance of power going in favour of Nameless now. Yeah, once that general died, that's when it started ticking that way. They throw their cavalry in. And now it's just a load of gunshots. I hope people don't mind that I'm just skipping through this one now. I hope you understand that this is just too difficult to commentate for me. At least give them different uniforms. But you can at least see all the different strategies that are being used. You can see the basics of it, what's going on. Red actually recovering in the balance of power. I think they had a cavalry charge, but their cav has now pulled away and broken by the general. Then the general hits these. Balance of power suddenly, once that cav unit was gone, click. Right back in favour of blue there. They appear to have the numbers. Red is down to their final 3 troops. Yeah, 3, they're all around here now. The cavalry charges in, they're definitely outnumbered. They're all tired, their general's dead, I'm presuming. And then it all falls apart. And well done Nameless there for getting the first win on Arad Cliffs. There we go. Flavius and Itchy Nuisance. Oh, that was horrid to commentate. If I ever do this event again, I'm banning factions like this. For Ottomans, it shouldn't be allowed. But oh well, there we go. My mistake, my stupid mistake. There's the kills if anyone wants to see. 136 on that one, not bad. Okay, then on to Battle 2, which should hopefully make a bit more sense to us. Oh, come on. So this time we're spectating as Nameless again. Itchy Nuisance is Portugal, and Flavius is Great Britain. On the other side, Theodore and Crucible. Did I say Crucible's name in the last one? I don't think I did. It's Theodore and Crucible, representing fate in blue in this battle. Oh, so confusing. So they're going to be blue on this because Nameless is red. But they're in the blue thing, so like balance of power is switched, I think. It's opposite. Okay. It's double Great Britain basically, so Britain versus Britain and Portugal. Why did I allow multiple teams like that? It should never have happened. If Fate in blue wins this, they take it to a game 3. If Nameless in red win it, they win 2-0 and they move through. Shame about the triple Britain vote. I mean, two countries of the same on the same side is fine, but when they're opposing each other, it just gets difficult. However, at least with the British uniforms, I think there's a bit more difference overall than the Ottomans. It's like you got different hats. With the Ottomans, they only seem to be like 2 units. You had the gunpowder and the swordsman. But with these, it's like, yeah, you've got like the King's Legion in green. Then you've got these ones in, that's Portugal. Then you've got the red ones. I guess they're still fairly similar. Oh, then at least these ones have a different uniform as well. Alright then. How are they doing this? Fate marching forward slowly, the cavalry in the back. Nameless making a really big push here. They're sprinting over here. They're already winded. The British are winded as well, although they seem to be travelling a lot slower. They're starting to probably slow down now. Where's the cavalry? That's what I was going to say. Where's the British cavalry here? I can't see any. It looks like it's all infantry. Which is fine with me if that's what they want to go for. Yeah, we see British cavalry on Fate's side. Not that many though. But they do have cavalry. Yeah, I don't really see any cav. Right, then the first shots coming through. And they're shooting at each other in the forest now. They're both getting the forest as they get the extra cover from that. We've got a cav unit right at the back there, but that's it. 1 cav unit for Nameless. I guess this is not a cav heavy map, but I still do like to see some cavalry. What's it like fighting in this forest here? I personally wouldn't want to. Actually, maybe I would. I'd rather have the cover. They're gonna shoot now. Are they gonna get kills? Yes, they do. You can see them falling. And I think they've got a better angle overall. I think the cover works slightly better for Red's team here. I'm just going to call them red and blue in this one. Sorry, red and blue. Yeah, so this is going well for blue. They're in a better position there. Oh god, these replays are so confusing. I don't know why CA insists on making everything the opposite. It's like blue on the balance of power bar is red on the battle map. Yeah, stupid, I know. And it's the same problem in Rome 2 events that I spectate. Same problem every time. Oh, the cavalry charging in for blue. It's gonna hit the lights here. Red does get into square formation in time, so they get a load of shots in on the flank. But the cavalry do charge in and they do take out a load of lights. They do get taken down though. I think that cav unit is dead. It is going to fail. Why is Red's formed more of a blob in the centre, but they've left themselves really open over here, it seems. You know what, I take it back. It looks like it's more open on the map than it actually is. I take it back. But they still have a lot more troops in the centre. And they do seem to be... yeah, they're definitely pushing forwards. Yeah, getting closer there, getting some closer kills. I wonder if at any point they're going to charge it in melee. And there we go, that cav unit there broke. Oh no, that was another cav unit for blue that charged in. I don't know, I don't think it got many kills. There's bodies there, but there's more dead horses than anything. And they're getting very close over here. What's this infantry unit doing? They're down to the final 11 men. And they're just running rampant. How have they not broken? I would not be standing and fighting if I was one of these guys. Okay, they're getting a few kills with the bayonets. That looked very inappropriate there for a second as he was dying. That guy just randomly gets up, oh, run back, and there we go. I think they've broken now. Yeah, they broke. I don't know why they didn't break earlier. Probably should have done. And then more units are charging up. I like how they've got the logs as well to act as some cover. That's nice. But they are all being shot at right now as they're trying to get into formation here. And they are struggling a bit with it. Just emoting on them and then they're pulling out, okay. these two guys are going to get their heads blown off. Are they going to survive? Oh, well, let's go back, let's go back. They're still alive, though. Where are they going? Oh, they're part of a retreating squadron. Somehow, they survived. Good on them. But they've had to pull back now because, yeah, they were getting annihilated there by superior gunfire. I think they almost broke. They did break. Yeah, they completely routed there. It was just too much for them. That is not good for Red. Meanwhile, over here, not that much fighting. A lot of gunfire in the centre. And over here, it's Blue that's making a push forwards. And Red is struggling. You can see those Portuguese there on the other side. Their numbers are clearly getting whittled down. And the balance of power is favouring Red, who I believe is Blue. So yeah, it's favouring fate here. Because it's opposite. Remember, it's opposite in this battle. It won't be opposite in other battles. Or it might be, but it's opposite in this one. Red's having to charge through now. They're fighting this in melee at this point. Where is it? It's here. Yep, here we are. So they're charging in with the Portuguese in melee to distract the British formation. I think they saw the unit as basically dead, so they might as well just throw it in with a charge just to mess up the formation a bit. But these Brits here, down to the final 10 men, and they're still holding. The brave King's German Legion Light Foot. And now we go. Never mind, I take it back. He died floating in midair. That's how light he is. He's been going on a diet, and he's so light now that he floats on top of the grass. The grass doesn't curve under his weight, he just lives on top of it. Another melee charge here as well, getting some final kills in. I think it is more to mess up the formation, because Blue right now, with these two units, cannot fire. What was that? Sorry about that, heard a bang there. I'm assuming it's thunder, hoping it's thunder. There's a few dark clouds up. Yeah, the birds are moving as if it's thunder. It sounded like an explosive though, which is not right at all, because I live in a village in the middle of nowhere in northern England. It's like, if it's an explosion, that must be quite extreme. I'm assuming it's thunder. It is thunder season and there's dark clouds up, but it didn't sound like the usual thunder. So now I've got to keep my eye on that. Just had to look out my window there, see what's going on. I'm assuming it's thunder. Wow, they've gotten really close now. Look how close they are. Or maybe it was something in the game, who knows. Yeah, look at that, really like firing at point blank range. Their one cav unit, it's charging in. And Blue did not form square. They didn't form square in time, but if they do remove this cav unit, that's it. Red is out of cavalry. Balance of power heavily in their favour now, in Blue's favour, as you can see there. And Blue still has the cavalry, and you can see them. They're winning on this flank, they're winning on this flank. Red is forcing themselves forwards. They're just going to get surrounded. And it is this surrounding that's going to ultimately beat them in the end. Yeah, that's definitely thunder. It's thunder and lightning, great. Just what I want when I'm recording in the attic. Hopefully we can get through this battle. Because sometimes I like to just turn my PC off, just in case. When you're this high up in the attic, yeah, I don't know, it might tempt in a bit of lightning. And I don't want to get shocked through my mouse or something. I don't know if that's actually a thing or if it's just something my grandparents used to tell me about to terrify me. But I'm going to assume it's real. Yeah, as you can see, Blue is really just flanking round. We can't see much in this forest here. And balance of power definitely favours Blue right now. Red is completely falling apart. These Portuguese trying to hold down the flank here, but they're fighting on 3 different sides almost. I've got enemies there, enemies coming round this way, and enemies will be behind them soon. They sort of are with the cavalry. I don't know, where's blue going? Come on, get back to the battle. Yeah, red just didn't have enough on the flanks here. They've got them surrounded and got themselves surrounded, and now that's ultimately what's going to lose it for them. In my very limited opinion of the game, that is. And they're still trying to fight it out in the centre, but they don't have long left. It is just a matter of time, and the game has no hope for them at all at this point. They're just too wildly outnumbered. I can't wait to see the stats here. Meanwhile, over here, it seems there was a melee charge. Red held out, I think, so that's good for them there. Oh, now it's raining. You might be able to hear it on the microphone soon. Oh, look at all the dead bodies here. Tragic. All those white trousers, all perfectly white, not a speck of dirt on them. Yeah, we got thunder and lightning now. Ah, no. Where am I trying to go here on the map? Over this way. Red's got a unit here that I was about to say seems to have broken out of the encirclement and was shooting blue in the flank here, but now they've been hit by the cavalry. They're probably about to get cut down. The Red General of Britain charges in at the British here. But he's down to his final 6, so we're about to get a dead general, it seems. I forgot to set the battle timer. And blue takes this to a game 3. Well done, Fate, for getting a win. We now get the 3rd match. And let me just say, thankfully they did set a battle timer in that 3rd match, because we are about to witness probably the most controversial battle in this entire tournament so far. As you can see by the kills there, yeah, clear win by Fate. They just dominated in that 2nd game. Well done to them. But now onto the infamous Game 3 of Nameless versus Fate. And you'll see why when we start. Just a quick look at the stats as well for those who want it. 199 kills. Quite good. I think this is Portugal we're seeing the stats of. Yeah, but 199 kills on Napoleon is definitely quite high. Okay, welcome to the final 2v2 map of today's video. Game 3. We have, in blue, Nameless, Britain and Portugal. And then, over here, I think we've got, is it double Prussia for Fate? I think it is. So one thing you need to know about this map, we have victory zones in the middle. Whoever owns the best control over these 2 hills here, these 2 hills and the valley as well, these 2 hills and the valley, wins the game if the timer runs out. And yeah, just as a pre-warning, this is a battle where the timer does run out, and at the end it does get a bit controversial. So it's these 2 hills that are going to be important. Remember that. So they all charge forwards. I'm going to keep this one on triple speed for the most part. Yeah, so Portugal here and Britain. Team Nameless in blue charges forwards. They are blue on the balance of power bar as well. And Fate is red. They get into their positions. And then the skirmishers do start to fire here, so the lights do get involved in some action. Meanwhile, Team Fate is coming round on the flank here. They've got some cavalry and a lot of infantry as well. They've got themselves set up on this hill, somewhat, near enough. Blue has them set up on the other hill, with some units coming round here to hold this strong point here. Prussia pushing up with the lights. I think they're getting some shots in. Yeah, they are just in range. But blue just accepting that gunfire right now. Has blue not brought any cavalry again? Right, they've got a couple in the back. Red's definitely got a lot more cavalry here. Whoa, that's some big thunder. Right, they are being counter-shot at from these lights over here. They might pull back eventually. But as you're starting to see, not much is really happening. And this is basically the battle. Nameless pulled up here, and they took this small corner of this victory objective. Fate did the same for this corner of the victory objective, and they both sort of just stood there until the end. So this is the next 1 hour. They played for an hour like this. That's why we're going on triple speed now. And as you can see, the seconds are going by. I'm just going to fast forward through this one because there's not really anything to cast. It's literally just these two lights right now shooting at each other. And maybe a bit of gunfire on this side as well. But apart from that, there's nothing really happening. You can see all the manoeuvres on the map as well. And this is it. This is the battle. And yeah, there we go. So the lights shoot at each other. And that's pretty much it. Then they pull back. They get some kills now and then. Balance of power 50-50. We're 8 minutes in. And it just keeps on going. Oh, Red's pushing forwards with some troops. Getting a bit of a stronger hold up here, which I think is the right move. And they're really trying to flank around now. Blue is not actually pushing. Red is pushing towards them a little bit. Giving them the option for fighting, but Blue is just manoeuvring defensively here. They just want to form this box formation rather than actually fighting. And then Red halts. Red sees it as, you know what, we've pushed forwards far enough right now. We've got the high ground, we've got the victory objective here. We just need to stand here. We get some shots in the distance with their Prussian Fusiliers. And then that's it. They've got some cavalry flanking round here just to get prepared. See what they've got. And then it just ends. Oh, well, we got some skirmishers shooting. Good, good. Wow. Usually by this point the match is usually over. Just so you know. 15 minutes in, it's usually done. Or at least like getting close to being done. The cavalry go on a far flank now. And Blue is surrounded, pretty much. And they're going to get even more surrounded as the game goes on. Because the way... Oh, we got a cavalry charge, and they've already pulled back, never mind. That was a waste. They should not have done that charge, but here's the thing. I at least respect Red here for trying. That does count in my overall decision. To do something like that, to waste troops like that, I've got to respect it for at least trying to do something here. Right now, I think Blue is being the most cowardly one. Why? Because they just stood here. Red is the one making most of the pushes. And yet Red could also do more. But right now it's like they're willing to take the risk and the gamble of pulling troops all the way around here to surround them. This could mean they get divided and conquered, but they're willing to risk it just to try and manoeuvre into better formations and just wait. But Blue is refusing to fight. We'll pull it back on triple speed. We've got a unit up here. Yep, again, it's Red who is on the move here, trying to get into a formation. And right now, you can see the two hills. One hill, Hill 2, and the valley. They each hold one each. So, if Blue is just standing there, Red could do the same. They don't have to be charging right now, but they are doing. They're putting in some effort. By going on the offensive here, they lose extra men, but they're putting in the effort. They're sending their cavalry as well, and they lose their cavalry because they form square in time. And they're going to lose a few more horsemen as well. But again, I've got to respect that they're at least trying to do something. And then they do have to pull back because they're outnumbered, and there's not really anything they can do. Yeah, they seem willing to push, but they're not going to just sacrifice a whole unit. It's not worth it. And yeah, they did put in the effort there, but I think they lost more men than were killed. There's also some gunfire back here as well with the skirmishers. But again, this is Red who has had to move into formation here to, give them a bit of a prod. And be like, come on, do something. All Blue needs to do here to, earn my respect in this battle is to just push forwards a bit, or at least try to take this hill. Yeah, Red's not making a big push here as well, but at least they're manoeuvring round. They're trying to make pushes over here as well. And oh, that is loud rain. We've got hailstone in September, it seems. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the audio too much. I'm doing this commentary because I want people to see it, and I want people, at least in the tournament, to see why I made my decision. in the end. Remember, it's Fate in red, Nameless in blue. And the skirmishers are still fighting here. I'm just going to leave it now. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. 40 minutes left. Oh, again, it's sort of both of them on the move over here. Red's pushing back up this way again. Red brought in by cavalry and some infantry. They caught this blue unit off guard who are now forming square, but because blue is just so heavily entrenched in this formation here, it's so difficult for red to actually manoeuvre and do anything. There's this blue unit here. Red's in the trees there, having to pull back a bit. Yeah, but they got some shots in. They do bring in some reinforcements, but they're forced to fight on the lower ground just to at least get some action going. They're having to pull back with their troops now. Yeah, again, they're having to prod them, but blue is not reacting enough. And then red has to pull back, because if they keep doing this, they are going to lose. But if they wait until the battle timer runs out, it's basically a 50-50 game. And as you can see now, blue is completely surrounded as well. Like, look at it on the map here. And yeah, as blue would later complain, being surrounded doesn't mean we're going to lose. No, and it doesn't. But it means something. If you are in Napoleonic warfare and you get surrounded like this, it means something. It shouldn't happen. And it just shows that blue is the one that's just dug in and refusing to move. At least red is moving and doing something. Like, look how easy it would be on the map here for blue just to wipe out all of these troops in the back. How easy it would be for blue just to divert some troops and take this position here and win the game. It's so easy for them to just divide and conquer. Fate has put them in a position where they can charge and actually do something and take out some troops, but they refuse to. They're just forming in a box. This is a typical box formation that blue has. Red is doing the only solution that you can to a box formation, and that's to surround it. Which shows to me that blue is the one playing too defensive here. Again, red could always do more as well, don't get me wrong, but blue is being a bit ridiculous. And balance power still even, and we're halfway through. 30 minutes left. Red moving in even more now as blue forms an even tighter box. And they are going to shoot at each other again. Just push them back a bit. It seems red's wanting to take this bit of high ground now, but this is not the victory objective, it's these two hills over here. And they do, it seems, force the lights off of this, but now red's going to come in, blue's going to come in, sorry, with reinforcements, and I think red here might have to fall back a little bit. Yeah, and again, this is just a difficult one to commentate. Blue broke, so even though blue is so heavily on the defensive, they are still losing a lot of men, and they are still breaking. They're struggling to counter the pushes that red's doing, and you can see on the map, red is now the one moving forwards. They are actually giving it a go to try and retake this hill now. They're bringing their lights forwards, and they're making the pushes. After 35 minutes. Again, just another sign that red is actively trying to find engagements here. Blue, for the most part, appears to be avoiding it. And just trying to hold the victory objective, sit there and wait, and hope they get a lucky win. Hope they get me just to happen to be on their side. That seems to be blue's plan, by the looks of things. It's how it appears. If blue wants to disagree, they're probably going to disagree, but that's how it appears. But yeah, well done red for pushing forwards here. They're using this log for cover, or this collection of logs. It's not going to help too much though, really. And blue's got the logs as well behind them. But red is making the push, so right now, red holds this one, and this hill here is contested. So if a battle ended right now, I'd have to give it to red, simply because they hold more of the victory points. This one is under their control, this one's contested. Blue does charge in the cavalry. They're light dragoons. So that's something, and this charge does ultimately push red back a little bit. They do have to form square. which will take out the cavalry. But now they're exposed to Blue's infantry. Red charges in with cavalry of their own. Again, trying to retake this hill, but Blue forms square. Red has been engaging over here as well, and Blue is the one that's breaking. And the Blue cavalry just charges past the square. And now these units are dead. They were in square formation and getting blasted by 2-foot units. And now they get hit by cavalry in the back as well. Oh, but the red cavalry is here as well, so now these two British ones have to form square. It's all just squares. That's this entire battle. We've got some more Prussians on the flank there, I'll keep an eye on them. Right now for the right hill here, Red still trying to make the push. They're getting very close. They're getting some good shots in as well, despite fighting on the low ground to accept this battle. And Blue still completely surrounded here. They're charging in to melee here. I think we've still got their cavalry around as well, but they're forming to square just in time, so you've got to get that cav unit out of there. Blue has their cavalry as well. I think that's the Blue cav unit, and yeah, Red's the one pulling their cavalry back. Their lancers. Red broke, and Red's cavalry, yeah, just get them out of there. And Red's now having to retreat because, yeah, they just can't push it right now. So they pull back. Have to completely give up the right hill here to Blue, who is finally moving. This is the most movement they've done since the start, pretty much. And they've got their squares here, and they've retaken this high ground as Blue. And now I think we just play it on triple speed again at this point. They've got the skirmishers fighting here. Red and have to pull back. Prussia trying to fight a 1v2 here. They throw their cavalry in, but then they can just form square at any point, so the cavalry sadly don't do that much. The Prussian lights badly battered. Balance of power still even though, 50-50. And after all that, Red just has to pull back. They have to recover their losses, and Blue just continues to sit there. Another 10 minutes has passed since, and really nothing has happened. At least it gives my voice a bit of a rest. Red again pushing up now. They're giving it another go. Mostly out of frustration, I guess. Like, come on, we got to do something. I'm not just sitting here for an hour, is probably what they're thinking. They're bringing their troops around now, as you can see on the map. And I think it's at this point Red just throws everything in for this right hill here. Yeah, I think Red's going all in now. They've still got these troops on the flank here. Yeah, you could say Red could push as well. They throw their cavalry in. But Red is actually pushing on this side. I mean, you could say Red could push here. But, I mean, they're still fighting an opponent that's just on the defensive. And they will lose more men because of that. But they're at least making a push on this side. They've got their cavalry nearby as well to charge in when needed. And this is where the main part of the battle actually starts to begin. How long have we got left? About 12 minutes left, and we're getting some good kills in. We're getting some really good shots with these Prussians. They've got their lights in the middle as well. Blue still just holding their position. Red holds left hill, and right hill so far contested. So again, I'm giving the advantage to Red if it was to end now. They actually charge forwards with some units as well to fight in melee here, and they do break the British. That's quite a few Blue troops breaking. And then they do have to pull back again. Yeah, I think they've overextended. Okay, back to triple speed. But they are still fighting it over here though. You know what, Red could have definitely played this a lot more cowardly. Blue, I don't think they could have played it more cowardly up to this point. And their final lights here have to be sacrificed. But they get some final kills in there, and there we go, Red's lost another one. Balance of power still even though. How long left? 10 minutes left, okay. Right, it's at this point that Blue actually starts to move, and as we can see, they're starting to edge forwards. They know the battle timer's running out, so it's quite clear they're playing for the time now. So they're trying to get a big, stronger hold on the left hill. So they're really pushing forwards. And some people might say, especially the blue team here, it's a one-sided commentary. I've tried to be fair to them, but I'm really struggling. It's one-sided because I'm, without a doubt, favouring red. It's not even a question in my mind right now. I prefer how red has played this. At least on a moral, ethical level, whatever you want to call it. Blue is fighting a bit over here now as well. Although it's more on their defensive side of the map. And at this point they're going to start pushing for the left hill as well, to take both hills and to try and claim victory in 8 minutes when the timer runs out. And finally Blue making a big push over here. They've got their infantry very close in range and they're going to get some shots in. This is the best thing Blue has done all game. And it took them about 55 minutes to get here. Their cavalry, I think they're throwing their cavalry in now, and they're just holding here again defensively. They're not pushing yet, but they are making the push this side. This is good. This is what I wanted to see from Blue within the first 5 minutes, not within the final 5 minutes. And if they did, they could have taken the second hill as well, much sooner. Prussia forms square, and now Prussia can bring in their troops that had surrounded them earlier. And they only got to surround them because Blue let them surround them by refusing to fight. And now they're paying the consequence of that. They know they need to push for this hill, but now they're getting surrounded whilst doing it. And it seems red again is trying some charges there. It looks like some of their cavalry got shot. Blue now is pulling more of their troops over to the victory zones. How long have we got left? 6 minutes. And red desperately trying to hold on to this hill. They throw their cavalry in. They get a charge, but they form square just in time. Square is starting to form. Another square coming in here, another square formed here. Yeah, so that cav unit sadly gets destroyed. And it's a bloodbath in right now, fighting for this little zone so that they can push up for this hill. Almost 5 minute mark. 5 minutes left. And they're just holding the hills. Oh, this hill, sorry. Another cav charge coming in for Prussia. Hits the Portuguese, hits the British. They do form square in time. It does mess up their formation though. And then I think they need to get the cav out of there before it's too late. Instead they just charge straight on through, ignoring the square. They try to get a charge in here to stop them firing, but no, they're all dead and breaking. Ah well, it was a nice try. And once these Prussians get here, then the battle's gonna start tipping, I think, in red's favour. We got some more red troops this way. Now that blue's pulling all of their troops back. Red still has the surround, remember, which again doesn't technically mean nothing. Doesn't technically mean red deserves to win just because they've got the surrounding, but you can't ignore it fully. It's like, if you've got yourself surrounded, I think it says a lot about your own playstyle. You've formed a box formation. And now red is going to push up and try to take this hill now that there's less soldiers there. They now feel they can finally make a fair push. And they're pulling in these troops as well because they had the surround from earlier. So they're able to surround this hill. But they are struggling on this side now. They need their reinforcements over here quick. Balance of power is still 50-50 at this point. And the Portuguese trying to fire, trying to hold back these Prussians, but it's not going to work. Well done, Prussia. They're going to cut their way through this, I think. Red is breaking here, they're falling apart, blue is pushing through, and blue now takes the left hill. Meanwhile, on the right hill here, blue has been charged by cavalry, and they're going to lose this unit here of skirmishers. And another cav charge here coming in for red onto blue. Blue is getting surrounded here, and we're seeing the impact of being surrounded. They're losing a lot more men as they're being shot at from many different fronts. Blue, however, has completely broken through on this side, and they've taken the left hill. Balance of power is still even there. What's the time? We've got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left of the battle. And then that unit there for blue just gets annihilated. So right now, if it was to end, I would probably have to favour blue. They control the left hill, and the right hill is contested. But blue is breaking. They're breaking quite rapidly as well. A lot of their troops are falling apart, and red is just making a push. And red's got a lot more troops here. They've got troops coming in from this flank over here as well. And their line is sort of thinning on this side, but they've got a lot more troops that they can bring in from other areas. And blue being surrounded means they're being shot at from different locations. Red's pushed up here now. Blue is getting pushed down the hill. They're getting completely stormed down here. The only units that they've got left on the hill is these two. And I guess sort of this one. After that it's below the hill pretty much. What's the time left? 1 minute left. Red does bring up a unit to contest the left hill. How many men do we have? 120 versus 70, 30 versus 100. So they've got the numbers here. This unit here has broken for blue. Another couple of units are breaking for blue. 40 seconds left. Balance of power is now in favour of red, and it actually is red on the map in this one. Wow, that's a great view. A tree. We can't see anything there. So red is now contesting left hill. Blue has lost another unit here. Blue is routing with another unit, and pause. 20 seconds left, okay. We'll keep going for now, and I'll pause it after. Balance of power still in red's favour, and red is able to push off this hill now. Well, not push off this hill, they're holding the hill, but they're putting a lot more pressure on. Also, on this side, red still has a bit of a surrounding. They're getting multiple shots in from multiple angles. Over here, red is going to fight these two, and they've got the numbers as well, because they've got, how many? 100 men. They've got 100 men now. But I think it's going to still be a fairly even fight. What's the time left? 12 seconds. I'll pause it on the final second, and then I'll give you my thoughts. Alright, I'll say that's close enough, so yeah. At this point, of course, the battle ends, and both sides claim victory. Both sides claim to have a better hold over the hill. Over both hills, over this victory zone here on the map. I have to give victory to red here, to Team Fate. They've clearly got the better control over this right hill. Blue has completely been forced off. They've completely routed. As for the left hill, it is contested, with even numbers. Okay, unless you count this Portuguese general on the left hill. Oh wow, the map's glitched. It's showing me spectating that, but I'm not. Weird. I guess, is it because it's paused? I don't know. So yeah, unless you can count him as being on the left hill, it's even in numbers. It's contested either way. Blue here is being surrounded. They're being shot at from many different angles. Blue is clearly falling apart. They're being pushed off the hill. Balance of power favours red. So I'm leaning towards giving red the victory here, I think it's fair to say, and they were more aggressive. But what really annoyed me is blue's claim. Blue claims that they were the most aggressive one, and they also claim, in Discord, I'll get the exact quote, we did technically in the end, we had more control on both winning zones than Fate Clan that game. Behind the bad English, they're claiming that they had control over both at the end. This is coming from blue. They are claiming that they have control over this, when in reality their closest units are here. This is where the hill starts. They're here. And I'm calling them out for this because it was a blatant lie, which at first I believed before I saw this game, and it really annoyed me. And that's part of another reason why I think they should lose, because it was a blatant lie. So just looking at this right now, technically by the rules that are all laid out in the Discord for this tournament, red team has won. I think it plays for an extra 10 seconds after the timer runs out as well, so we get even more. Let's just pause it. So 82 men, They do technically bring the cavalry up here. Yep, so it's still even here. Meanwhile, these guys are getting charged in the back, so they're gonna break any second now. They can no longer fire. This unit's surrounded and outnumbered, so they're gonna break as well. And there we go, that's where we get the end of the battle. Yeah, they would have probably charged this unit with the general, and they might have secured the left hill, but might have secured the left hill is not what they claimed, controlling both hills. So red team is faked here. Look at the kill difference. Both players got more kills. 1,500 versus 1,400, 1,100 versus 1,000, basically. I have to give the win to Prussia here, and I wanted to film this on video so that everyone knows why I made the decision in the Discord, because it is a controversial one. It did come through as a draw, but at the end of the day, my rule on this is tough luck. If this battle was to continue, I have no doubt in my mind that Nameless team here in blue would have lost. It was going that way, they were getting destroyed. And I hope this video shows to everybody that I made the right decision when it came to giving red Team Fate the win here. Either way, neither of these teams are eliminated. Both of them qualify for the semi-finals anyway. It was a pointless debate. It's just how the pool play worked out. They were both going to qualify anyway. Yet, this is how their pool play match went. There is a slight advantage for winning it, but it's only slight. Well anyway, they're in the semi-finals now. This is, at the time of recording this, no semi-finals match has been played yet, and this won't be uploaded until after the tournament. But if anyone thinks to disagree with my decision, I hope this video proves why I made my decision and why I am absolutely certain that I am correct here. Anyway, thank you for watching. Sorry for the more drama feel of this one, but I did have to cover it. It's important to show, I think. Thank you to OBG for sponsoring this event with a $300 prize pool, and hopefully we'll be back with a lot more games. We have a show match coming up as well, which should be very interesting. And of course we've got the big finals and everything. Hope you stay for that. Hope there's no more drama. For now, goodbye.